We have arrived at the much-anticipated moment. It's time for the final draft preview for the Chicago Bears in the 2025 cycle. This is our 15th mock draft, a significant milestone. We'll dive into the details shortly. Before we do that, it's worth mentioning that the Bears hold a total of 7 picks for this event. Recently, a points-based evaluation for each pick has been incorporated into a graph, grounded in a specific model. Each franchise has its own scoring system, but this provides a rough idea of the value of each point, especially in trade negotiations. Before revealing what's projected for the Bears in the first round, it's essential to stay informed and be aware of updates. As you see this image in the feed, remember that this is the right place for in-depth analysis. The full analysis will be broadcast live starting Thursday evening at 5 o'clock Central Time, 2 hours before the draft begins. The broadcast will be extensive, filled with engaging content, making the experience highly immersive. The excitement is building for what's to come. Now, let's update you on the trades. In several previous mock drafts, I've typically avoided making trades, but I'm convinced there's a real chance the Bears will attempt to move up the draft to select Ashton Jenney. This is the move I've been discussing throughout the week, trading the 5th and 10th picks, sending pick 41 to the Jaguars along with an early second-round pick, and receiving a 4th-round pick in return. I believe that in this draft, it won't be necessary to pay an exorbitant price to move up. Information suggests that many offers to move up are being valued at around 70 cents on the dollar. This trade would seem almost perfectly balanced according to the draft evaluation chart, making it fair. Therefore, the Bears are targeting Ashton Jenney, as many believe the top 4 picks are already decided, with Cam Ward heading to Tennessee, Travis Hunter to Cleveland, the Giants opting for Abdul Carter, and Will Campbell going to the Patriots. It seems reasonable to say that the Bears are genuinely interested in Ashton Jenney. There's a consensus that the top 4 picks are nearly locked in, with Cam Ward going to Tennessee, Travis Hunter to Cleveland, the Giants selecting Abdul Carter, and Will Campbell joining the Patriots. So, if the Bears have their sights set on Ashton Jenney, the 5th pick becomes a desirable target. The Jaguars also seem open to the idea of selecting Jenney. This raises the question of whether a trade is viable, which remains uncertain. However, I feel there's a strong chance this could happen. I'm convinced the Bears are actively in talks to move up in the draft, as they clearly want to add this player to their roster. Whether this trade occurs or not will be revealed on draft night. I don't expect a trade before the draft to secure the 5th position, as the unpredictable nature of the event always plays a role. For example, New England could surprise everyone by selecting Jenney at number 4, and if that was the trade target, the Bears would face a tough situation. Still, I believe there's a real chance a trade could happen on draft night. Considering the draft value, the Bears would be sending over 515 points in picks, while the Jaguars would receive 499. This suggests a slight incentive is being offered to Jacksonville. Normally, moving from 10th to 5th would require a higher price, especially for a quarterback. However, for a running back, the value tends to be more standardized. We've analyzed the player in detail, and I recognize what he could bring to the team. His balance and contact is exceptional, combined with notable agility, vision, and patience. He has the ability to avoid defenders and break away from tacklers. His character is admirable, and he is regarded as one of the highest quality prospects in this draft, which is highly valued. He would make a significant impact on the locker room culture and the team's overall mindset. I'm convinced Ashton Jenney is a player worth pursuing. I wouldn't suggest trading a future first-round pick, but sending a second-round pick could be a smart strategy. With an extra second-round pick available, receiving a 4th-round pick in return could balance the trade dynamics. If the Bears are set on securing a standout player, they might not be able to do that at 10th overall, so it would be wise to consider moving up to achieve that goal. Will the Bears make that decision? Choosing a future first-round pick might not be crucial, but sending a second-round pick is a viable option. You have an extra second-round pick available, which makes receiving a 4th-round pick in return even more attractive. Even without that 4th pick, the proposal still holds value. This contributes to a balanced approach during each phase of the draft. So, if the goal is to secure a standout player, Achieving that at 10th overall could be challenging. Therefore, it makes sense to consider a trade to move up and lock in a desired player. The Bears may end up with a player, whether it's at the 5th, 10th, or another position. There's a reasonable probability that this could happen, which is why I'm projecting this selection for the Bears at number 5 overall. This is the only trade I'm considering for this projection. In the final projection, I prefer not to propose numerous trades, as that tends to be speculative. However, the Jaguars seem to be somewhat convinced in this direction. I also believe that if they opt to move up, they may choose to make a trade to drop to a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Thus, the proposal to move 3 spots was presented to me in a simulator, allowing for the addition of an extra 5th round pick. I'm open to this idea, as it would ensure a defensive player from a prestigious college, a player we've projected for Chicago in this 2nd round range several times. I believe he fits many of the criteria the Bears are looking for, particularly those that catch the coach's eye. I've seen him perform excellently during his senior season, and he could have declared last year and been drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round, but he decided to return and had a memorable playoff performance, racking up 6.5 sacks over 4 games. He stood out as a team leader and appears to be an efficient run defender, bringing that skill immediately. He shows flashes of talent as a pass rusher, though still inconsistently. He reminds me of what I describe as an inconsistent shooter in the NBA. In some games, he dominates, while in others, his pass rush performance is less noticeable. Therefore, it's expected that he will improve his consistency and broaden his pass rush skills. He fits the coach's desired profile, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing around 270 pounds, with nearly a 34-inch wingspan. With this build, he can collapse the pocket. I believe he aligns well with the Bears and coach's preferences. He might even have the ability to move inside occasionally, though that may not be necessary, given the versatile options already available on the team. He has the ability to pressure the pocket with his physical frame. I believe this fits what the Bears tend to value and meets the expectations of the coaching staff. He could potentially move inside, though this may not be essential, since there are versatile interior players on the roster. In this draft, I value 2nd-round options. Looking at the players, some may be a bit more talented, but once you move past the top 2 or 3 names, the difference between the 4th best pass rusher and, say, the 9th may not be that significant. Thus, it's possible to select a defender in the 2nd round and feel quite optimistic about adding a good player to the team. Moving to the 3rd round, with 72 overall picks, there's a player with 1st-round potential based on his performance and production. Though he played only 2 games last year due to a partial ACL tear, he is fully recovered and is training actively. He participated in most of the pre-draft workouts and drills, demonstrating explosiveness with a time of 4.51 seconds just 6 months after his injury, which is very impressive. It's reasonable to expect that he will clock under 4.5 seconds when fully recovered. His stats include 6 passes deflected and 1 interception, and he stands out in run defense. An interesting fact is that he was the only player at his position in college football to score above 85 in both pass defense and run defense, being the only player to excel as both a coverage safety and a run support safety. This makes him an attractive prospect. Though there may be some rust after his injury, this could lead to a perfect fit if another player, known for his health, performs well in the final year of his contract. If this player stays healthy, selecting him would allow a smooth integration into the system. He could act as a 3rd safety, and, if needed, that would be a great option. Otherwise, he would be ready to start in 2026 when both players are about to become free agents. There are still more picks to analyze in this 7-round mock draft, but before we dive into that, we must address a significant partnership. Starting as a starter in 2026, considering both Brisker and Bird will become free agents. Several more draft picks remain in this 7-round exercise. Before we get into that, it's important to highlight that baseball is on the rise, and there are opportunities to watch games. The local team had an exciting run against a California team this week, and will face a team from Philadelphia this weekend. It's a great opportunity to witness some high-quality baseball. The local team is interesting to watch, with their game-turning moments making it very thrilling. For those seeking entertainment, it's definitely worth checking out. The ticket selling platform is very user-friendly, making it easy to purchase tickets, even for those struggling to find them. If you're interested in an upcoming basketball game, ticket prices on the platform may drop as the event time approaches. Often, you can find tickets at lower prices on the day of the event, sometimes even hours or minutes before it starts, with good last-minute opportunities. The platform ensures final prices, seat views, and guarantees that the price listed is the one paid, with no surprises later. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Patrick Mahomes, one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in NFL history, finds himself at the center of an unexpected whirlwind, a near certainty of joining the Chicago Bears. Sources close to negotiations indicate that Mahomes, fresh off yet another sensational season with the Kansas City Chiefs, has reached preliminary agreement in principle with Chicago's front office. If consummated, this blockbuster move would instantly redefine the landscape of the NFC North and send shockwaves throughout professional football. Throughout his tenure in Kansas City, Mahomes rewrote every record in sight. His cannon-like arm, combined with a deft sense of improvisation, turned broken plays into highlight reel magic and earned him multiple MVP awards. Yet, despite his extraordinary success, contract talks this offseason reportedly reached an impasse over salary cap structure and long-term guarantees. As tensions simmered, Chicago swooped in with a jaw-dropping offer rumored to eclipse any deal ever extended to a positional player. For the Bears, Mahomes represents both salvation and statement. Union Station, era Chicago has endured years of quarterback instability and middling results. Landing a generational talent could catalyze a renaissance at Soldier Field. Head coach Matt Eberflus, celebrated for his defensive acumen, would now command an offense orchestrated by Mahomes' unparalleled flair. Together, they could usher in an era reminiscent of the Hallis, monsters of the Midway spirit, but fueled by 21st century dynamism. Mahomes' arrival would also alter divisional dynamics. The Green Bay Packers, long the Bears' bitterest rivals, would suddenly face a quarterback whose mere presence elevates decibel levels across opposing defenses. Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings, each with their own burgeoning talents, must now reckon with a Chicago team capable of explosive outbursts on any given Sunday. Even beyond the NFC North, Mahomes at Chicago would force contenders league-wide to recalibrate strategies, as offenses designed around his improvisational genius defy conventional game planning. Off the field, the implications are equally profound. Chicago's storied fan base, starved for a transcendent hero since the days of Walter Payton, would embrace Mahomes with fervor. Merchandise sales, television ratings, and sponsorship deals would soar, injecting fresh vitality into a franchise that has long sought a transformative centerpiece. Meanwhile, Mahomes himself, already established as a global icon, would gain a new platform in one of America's great sports cities, further expanding his influence beyond the gridiron. As final details are hammered out, the football world waits with bated breath. Should Patrick Mahomes officially don the navy and orange, the Chicago Bears would instantly reclaim their place among NFL juggernauts, and Mahomes, already a legend, would embark on a new chapter, poised to redefine greatness in the Windy City. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.